Hey guys, well, I thought we could go back and do a look back at my 2020 favorites. That way we can look back and see what I was loving then, and then I'll do a video on my 2021 favorites. You guys probably can guess what they are since I just did ranking videos, but since I've done the ranking videos, I've gotten some new stuff, and I have to say some of that stuff will probably be in my top. And so just know that I just want to revisit 2020 and see what I loved then. So first I started out with eye primer, and one of the eye primers I was loving in 2020 was the Lorac Behind the Scenes eye primer. I don't know that I've reached for this maybe a handful of times this year, if at all. Honestly, I don't remember. I think I have. Whoop, here I am throwing it. I think I've used it, but I can't swear to it, to be quite honest. It's good, it's still great, but my number one, and the one I did speak about last year, was my Believe Beauty. I love my Believe Beauty. This is top for me. It doesn't matter that it comes from the dollar store and then it's $5 or $3.50 actually. That doesn't matter. It's a plus, but this is so good. This is amazing. It grabs onto the eyeshadow. It makes sure the pigment is there. Like, I just love it so much. And this is the one that I'm reaching for, and I've repurchased numerous of these. By the way, I don't know if I said it or not, but the translucent shade, I bought this just to check it out, just to see if I like the translucent shade. I don't like this as well as I like Universal. It's not bad. I just like the Universal because I feel like it gives me a blank canvas to work with. It doesn't cancel out everything, but it does cancel out more than translucent does. This is done. I have used this until it is absolutely positively gone. So it is absolutely donezo. But I did just repurchase this, and I've been using this nonstop. Love it. I spoke about e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadows. They're still good. I've used them this year. I don't reach for them as often. I still like them. I still find that they are very affordable, and the quality is amazing to come from the drugstore. It really truly is. Like, you're paying $3 for 4 shadows, and it's pretty good. So it's still pretty good. It's still there, just not I wouldn't call it a top. I definitely wouldn't call it a top. I talked about my Pure and Raw Beauty Christie eyeshadow. I don't know that I've touched that one time this year. I'm glad to have it. It's kind of like a collector's thing for me. And you saw where I ranked it in my eyeshadows. I don't even remember. I think it was like middle of the pack. I can't remember. It's that memorable for me. I like it, but the colorful side kind of holds me back, even though it has that neutral side. I'm like, there's so many colors in it. Like, if there was another side of neutrals, I probably would reach for it a little bit more. Just me being honest. My Going Coconuts palette from Colourpop is another one I mentioned. I love that palette. That is a forever staple in my collection, as long as Colourpop makes it. And as long as I continue to use it and I need to repurchase, I will. It's just that good. It's like a neutral, cool, it's just really neutral. Like, there's no like cool or warm. It's just very neutral, and I love it. There are so many good colors in that. It's an all-time favorite. That truly is. I spoke about Huda Beauty, and I had the new nudes. Okay, so I've grown my Huda collection, okay? I've grown my Huda collection quite a bit. I said I was excited to try more in my video last year. Well, I totally tried more. So my next Huda Beauty palette, I bought this one. So this is the one I spoke about last year. Still love it. Still a great one. Not my favorite, but it's still a great one. I love this palette. It's a good one. Then, what was the next one I purchased? Was it Naughty Nude? I can't remember. It was one of these two. It was either the Rose Gold, which is this Rose Gold, or the Naughty Nude. I think it was this one. Pretty sure. And this is amazing. And then I also have the Desert Dusk palette, and my new baby, my new addition, the one that I have been enjoying here lately is the Rose Quartz palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. So gorgeous. Oops, I'm about to leave it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I fell for Huda really hard. Oh, I have this Huda Beauty Khaki Haze. Why would I have bought a green palette? I don't know. That's sarcasm. But yeah, I love Huda Beauty. She's totally at the top. So I spoke about this. I was talking about eyeshadow, and I talked about finding Lunar Beauty, and I just kind of threw this in there. This is my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism blush palette, and I love this. I still use this. I used it not long ago in a video, I believe. It's good. It's good, y'all. It's still for sale. You just need to pick it up. You won't regret it. There are so many good colors in here, and there's so much versatility in here. I love this. And then here, I think this was my first eyeshadow palette from Lunar, and this is the Eternal Eclipse. And so it was the reason I bought it is because it's very neutral. There's this row of blue, but it's a very neutral palette for the most part. And I love it. And this middle row, I mean, like it's just beautiful, and I love it. Did I mention that? And it made me fall in love with the brand. Like, it made me fall in love with the formula. It's just so good. I love this. And I'm about to hit myself in the face. So then I had to purchase some more. So here's my Greek Goddess palette. I don't show you the front of this one because I don't like the front of it, and if I had the nerve to depot it, I totally would. But this is my Greek Goddess palette. This is my favorite Lunar Beauty palette. Now, I think he's probably improved his formula since this palette, because this is one of the first ones. But it's a neutral lover's dream. It's just so pretty. But this formula is still really good. Like, I don't see anything wrong with it, and I love it, and I use it. And see, there's the front, and I hate it. It's just a habit. The reason he falls down just a little bit for me is the packaging. Some of his packaging I just can't stand. And this is the Moonspell palette, and this is the most colorful of the palettes I have from him. And of course, I love the greens. Love the greens. So yeah. So I dove a little deeper into Lunar Beauty. I spoke about this last year. This is my Nudie Patootie palette from Lorelei, Los Angeles. It's neutral. Do I need to say anything else? I love this palette. It's so beautiful. Still, so good. So good. And I also mentioned this one. There's Nudie number 2. She's used quite a bit. This one I like just a little bit more than Nudie Patootie. Nudie number 2 is where it's at. I love this. And if you didn't know, I've expanded my Lorelei collection this year. This is the Candy Skies palette she did with her niece Erin. Smells delicious. Absolutely delicious. I could eat it. It's so good. I love the video I did. I love the look I created in that video. I also love my lit kit, my glazed lit kit. Let's make sure it's not breaking. There's one shade in here that likes to break. It's this one here. But this is my glazed lit kit. Love this. And then I also got the bronze lit kit, which, I mean, yes, it's for a deeper skin tone. I think I could still pull this one off. Maybe this one. But I'll use it for eyeshadow nonetheless. I got it in a mystery box. I didn't purchase this on, like, purpose, you know, but I'm still glad to have it, and I wasn't going to get rid of it. And my most recent purchase from her brand is her blush palette, and I love this blush palette. It's in my everyday makeup bag. That's how much I love it. This is so beautiful. So many great colors in here. Can't recommend this one enough. I don't think you would be disappointed with this one either. A lot of versatility in this, a lot of skin tones that it can accommodate, even the darker shades. I've used some of the darker shades on me, and I'm a lighter skin tone, but I still can make them work. So just going with a light hand. But yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Then we talked about Tarte Beauty. I still love Tarte. I don't pull out this palette as much anymore because it is so large. You can't get this palette anymore. Tarte Beauty is no more. But I'm really glad to have this. Look how dark that black is. Like, it's super dark. But I love this palette. It's so beautiful. It has a huge mirror in here. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, I love this palette. I'm still in love with it. Also talked about this palette, which is my Charlotte Tilbury Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize, and it is beautiful. Sorry if I'm blinding you with the mirror and all, but this was a gift last Christmas, and I am so happy to have it. I love this. Oh, so good. It's so good. I love Charlotte's formula. I've fallen in love more and more with Charlotte. This is not my favorite eyeshadow brand, I'm not gonna lie to you. And these palettes, the longer palettes, or at least this longer palette, is not my favorite from her. Now this, I absolutely love from Charlotte. And this is her little quad. And this is the Queen of Glow Luxury palette. I think that's all there is. It is very neutral, you can tell. Love this. Still use it. These are so good. She has an amazing formula, but there are other things from Charlotte I prefer more than her eyeshadows. I talked about this, and it's actually like right on my desk. I don't even have to go get it. This is my Jackie Aina palette from ABH. I love this. Like, look at this palette, y'all. She's used quite a bit. For my collection, that's very used. And I love this palette. I love these 6 shades down here the most. And these 2 here too. I just love the whole palette. It's such a good palette. Yeah, this one is a very good palette. If they still have it, I suggest you pick it up before they discontinue or whatever, retire, whatever they're gonna do. But I love this. It's a good one. And then I talked about Sultry from ABH. This is another great palette from ABH. It's just so beautiful. I had a dupe for this one from another brand, and I hit pan on it. So this one is really, really good. It's just, there's so many good shades in here, and I love this one. I love it a lot, a lot, a lot. And then I also spoke about my MAC Selena palette. I love this palette. It is definitely a collector's item, but I still love all the shades. Just absolutely. The quality is so amazing. I never had tried a MAC eyeshadow before this one, and this is still the only one I've tried, but it's still a great quality, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection. I also talked about my chocolate donut from Glamlight. So beautiful. I apparently talked about all of my all of my eyeshadows last year, and I said I wasn't going to, but yes, love this one still. So this was a gift. This is the mini Zendo palette. So beautiful. So beautiful. Then I got this one in a BoxyCharm. When I had BoxyCharm, I don't have that anymore, but this is the Peak palette. So she took shades from other palettes and made into a 5-pan. And then I had the bronze palette last year, which still love the bronze. It's a good one. Love this. Love all the shades. Very warm. It speaks to me. And then I had this one as my absolute favorite from last year. Has anything changed? Has anything changed? You'll have to watch my 2021 ranking to find out. And I don't mean you need to watch my eyeshadow ranking, but you'll also need to watch my end of year wrap up for 2021 to find out if this is still the top contender, because I have added to my collection and there have been some contenders, is all I'm gonna say. I love this palette. That I do. I can stand by and stand behind. I love this palette. It's so good. Look how used she is. She's been used. I love her. Then I moved on to primers, and I spoke about this one. This is my Hard Candy Hydrating Primer, and this is a great primer. It's a great dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip. So I've heard. I've not tried Milk Hydro Grip to tell you that myself, but I've heard that this is a great dupe. I know that I love this. I love how it locks on to my foundation, holds my makeup in place, especially like on my nose when I was, wearing a mask. stuff would rub off my nose and whatnot. This was great to have. So yes, I still love this. This is great. I also spoke about my Smashbox Super Light Primer. I finished that this year. That's gone. So yes, I still love that. I haven't repurchased because I have so much makeup. I don't need it at the moment. One day I think I will though, because it is so good. It really truly is good. One of the best that I've used. It just keeps me really nice and matte, and it's just a great primer. It does all the things I need. Pore filling, mattification, all that good stuff. And then I spoke about this primer, which is my Too Faced Primed in Peachy. This, for the longest time, this was my go-to primer. Like, this is all I used. I didn't want to use anything else. I tried other things, but I would always go back to this one because I just loved it so much. However, my makeup preferences have changed. I'm not the same type of base girl that I was. And I didn't say basic, I just said base, that I was last year. I like a more light base than I did, and so I'm not using super matte products, and I'm not using super full coverage products. So this is a super matte product, and I used it not long ago and found out that I'm not crazy about it anymore. It's not horrible, and it could be that it's an older product. I still can't part with it. I still can't find it in my heart to part with it. It's just not my favorite. Doesn't mean I hate it. It's just not my absolute favorite anymore. I have others that I would reach for before this one for sure. So I can't tell you right now that I have like this top primer that I love and like that's my go-to. That's the one I can't do without. Like, I don't have one of those right now. So we'll find out. So I spoke about this. This is my Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. Again, not into full coverage like I was. Don't reach for this as much anymore. This was a super full coverage foundation. It was very mattifying, which I did find I still like mattifying, but I don't need super full coverage. I find my full coverage in my concealer, and my foundation can be a little bit lighter. I just like that on my face, especially when I'm oily. I don't like to get even more cakey throughout the day. So that's why I don't reach for this as much anymore, but I'm still not going to part with it just yet. So I talked about my Huda. I also spoke about my Huda Beauty foundation. I have two, and because one of them is the regular old OG faux filter foundation. That's what I got. That's what I loved. That's what I fell in love with. Then she came out with the luminous matte faux filter, and I was like, yeah, let me try it. It's not as good. It's not as good. I like the OG, don't like the luminous. And I think that a lot of people felt that way, and I believe she may be getting rid of this because it's been on sale quite a bit. So I still have both. Again, these are super full coverage. I don't reach for these as much anymore. I can't call them my favorites right now. Can't do it. Then I spoke about the NARS Soft Matte. I have two of these as well. I don't know. I think the other one's right. I think it's right there. Can't really see. But I have two of these because my first one, the shade was really light, so I got a deeper shade to mix, and yeah. So anyway, so I really love this. Still, it doesn't feel super heavy on my skin, so yes, this is still a favorite for me, definitely. It's in my everyday makeup bag right now, so yes, it's definitely a favorite. So I spoke about NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. I can't tell you the last time I used this, to be quite honest. It's still good. It's just very full coverage, and my preferences have changed. So it's not a bad product. It's just, it feels a little bit heavier on my skin, so I don't reach for it as often. I also spoke about this, and I still haven't gotten rid of all of it, and I probably should put this in my everyday makeup bag and just get rid of it. I think the shade's just a tad bit off. It looks a little bit light on me when I do use it, but it is okay. But this is the Revlon Photoready Candid. I love this. This is really good. And it's almost gone. And this is not super heavy on the skin. It does have a really good finish, but it's a natural finish. It's not a heavy matte finish. So actually I am going to stick this in my everyday makeup bag just to get rid of this, because it's time. And then I talked about the Photo Focus from Wet n Wild. I have 2 of the regular Photo Focus and I have 1 of the Dewy, and I love both of them still. Actually, I still get a great finish out of this. It can be a bit heavy. I prefer the Dewy, to be quite honest, because it doesn't feel as heavy. It's a little bit more hydrating, and I do prefer a more hydrating foundation. I don't know who am I, but I always get just a flawless finish with this, and I love it. I truly love it. It's so good. It really is. I was super into matte full coverage foundations last year, and so this is the Revolution Conceal and Define full coverage foundation. Again, haven't used this in quite a bit because it's very full coverage, so haven't been reaching for it as much. It's not horrible by any means. It's just not the coverage that I look for these days. So I still have it. Still have it in my collection. It's still really good. I've changed a bit in my preferences, and that's been kind of recent. It's not even been that long since I've started doing this, but I just find that my skin looks better. I don't get as oily if I do a hydrating foundation and a matte primer and then mattify, all that good stuff. Yeah, so my preference. So my Huda Beauty concealer, I still love this. It's still full coverage, so I like a hydrating foundation, full coverage concealer. This is really good. This is very brightening when I wear it, very brightening under the eyes. So I'm actually gonna put this in my everyday makeup bag. It's time for a change, so I'm gonna put this in there and start wearing it. So kimchi the most. I mean, like, I'm getting low on this, okay? There's a lot of air in there, but it's feeling very low. Every time I go on the website, this shade, the light beige, is sold out, and this is like my perfect shade. So I'm getting nervous. No, I'm not, but I really do love this, and I love the shade. So I'm hoping that they restock it. Then I talked about Colourpop Pretty Fresh, and I do still like a hydrating concealer. I like it hydrating and full coverage. I need those too. So this is still a very good one. This is not as full coverage as I like with my hydrating foundations, but I can still get away with it. So still like it, still have quite a few shades, and it's really good. e.l.f. Camo. I was using this left and right and center last year. It was so good. And I don't use it as much this year, or haven't used it this much this year, but that doesn't mean it's a bad concealer. It just means I've had others that I've been reaching for, but it's still really good. I talked about the Haley's Beauty setting powder, and I actually had a different one. This is a repurchase, so they redid the packaging on it, and I just recently rebought this one, and it's still just as good, and I still love it. And I talked about the e.l.f. matte setting powder, but I was out of it then. I repurchased, and now I'm out of it again. It's that good. It's a good one. I need to repurchase it, but I have so many others I'm trying to work my way through. I haven't, so yeah. Then I talked about my Peach Perfect powder. I worked my way through my big one. This is a smaller one that I have, so it's just a little teeny tiny baby. But I do still really like this powder. I do still like a mattifying powder, and I really enjoyed this. So this is still a good one. It's very hard to find. I don't know if they discontinued it. I don't know what they're doing, but it's still a good one. And then my Huda Beauty one, I haven't opened up my big one yet. I just repurchased this. This is it. This is where it's at. This is my favorite. I love this. As soon as I work my way through some more of these, definitely gonna open this up because I love it so much. I'm trying to be smart. I'm trying to use what I've got open, and then I'll open this. Trying. I may break down and just do it one day, but for right now I'm just trying. Also talked about this palette that I got from Glamlight. This is the contour and highlight palette from the chocolate collection, something like that, and I really liked it, and I liked these two. I would mix these two highlighters. Not been using it as much lately. I just have too much stuff. That's the only reason. Then I talked about my Oprah Americano bronzer, and I really like this. I'm almost to pan in it. I've not been using it here lately, but I think I need to so I can hit pan. That'll be fun to hit pan and something. So I may use that soon. Then I talked about my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. Love this still. It's a good one. So yeah, I still like this. Most of these I still do. Some of them I still question, and I keep moving around in the frame because I have to go and like get stuff and come back and get stuff and come back. So I should have done that before, but I talked about too much. I'll try not to do that this year. And then I talked about the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer, Stars Say highlighter, if I can get it open. And I really do like it. I'm actually starting to hit pan in it too. Can you tell? I can see the indentation of the pan. That means I'm about to hit pan. So yeah, I like this too. It's really pretty. And then I talked about this one, which she's very well loved. I actually just took her out of my everyday makeup bag, and this is the Revlon Skin Lines Prismatic Bronzer, I think is what it's called. And it's beautiful. And again, do you see those little ridges? Like, it looks, I can tell I'm about to hit pan in this one. That just makes me so happy to know that I'm about to hit pan. I'm using my products, guys. Then I talked about this one, which is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, and I actually got rid of my broken one, and I've been using a new one that is not broken, and I love this. It's really good. I don't know if I would call it a favorite, to be honest. I don't know. Is it a favorite? I need a different shade. I need a little bit of a deeper shade in it. But it's buildable and it's workable, but I need a deeper shade in it. Then I talked about the e.l.f. face duos. These are still really good. I don't reach for them as much just because of all the other stuff that I have, but they're still good. I don't know if I would call them a favorite this year, but they're still good. Then I spoke about the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in between the sheets. Still love this. I got actually a couple more. This is still usable. This is pretty. I'm not gonna start swatching. I'm telling myself this. Because if I do, then we will never be done with this video. Then I talked about my Juno & Co. Margarita palette. I don't ever reach for that. I'm not even gonna go get it. I don't reach for it. I can lie and tell you that I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I just don't reach for it. And then I talked about Colourpop Crossroads. I think I still have that. I mean, I'm not decluttered, so obviously I probably do. I don't reach for it as much anymore. I store it in front of me now. It's a little harder to get to, so I just don't use it as much. It's still nice. I still like it. It has a little bit of shimmer in it. That's probably another reason I don't use it, like actual little micro glitter. But it's not bad. It's not bad. I talked about Crossroads and Wayfarer from the same collection. They're basically like, one's just a bit deeper than the other, but they're basically the same blush shade. So I like both of them. I don't use them hardly at all anymore. I really don't. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Then I talked about this one, and I still use this one. I love it. This is the Colourpop Palladial blush from the Dark Blooms collection, I think is what it was. But this is beautiful. I love the shade. Like, it's a very beautiful, vibrant shade, and it's in my top drawer here. So yes, I still use this one. I talked about my Oprah Soho highlighter. I don't use that much anymore, and the reason for that is I have one that's very similar that's taken its place. It's a very similar shade, and I use it, and it's a little easier to access. That's basically why. Then I talked about the Colourpop Brow Boss Pencil. That's good. I found others that I like better. I got a brow pencil from Colourpop, and I don't know if they changed the formula or if it's like supposed to be the same or what. It's not good enough to be in my everyday makeup bag, and I've not used it very much since I bought it. I'm pointing to it because it's right there. So I found better. I talked about NYX Fill and Fluff. I still like that. I don't use that as much anymore because it gives me like block brows, and you guys may be thinking you have block brows right now. Actually, if you look a little closer, they're more textured. At least that's what I'm going for. And so I try not to do like a Nike upside down check mark for eyebrow anymore. If you're in a rush, that'll get it done quickly. If you have a lot more eyebrows than I do, it'll get it done quickly. But I'm trying to make it look a little bit more lifelike. And then I talked about the NYX ultra fine micro brow, whatever it's called. I'm sorry, I get them all mixed up, but the little pencil micro brow, I think is what it is. I'm not sure. I still like that one. That one's still really good. And I talked about CoverGirl, the ultra fine. It's really good. Yeah, I still like that one. I talked about the Benefit. I talked about the Benefit Goof Proof and Precisely My Brow. They're okay. They're way too overpriced. I won't probably repurchase unless it's like a really good deal. I don't have the exact right shade for myself, so I don't use it as often. I'll reach for it every now and then just because it's there and I need to use it, but it's not one that I'm like in love with. And then I have the Gimme Brow from Benefit. I'm actually wearing that today. It's not my favorite brow gel. I was wearing it because it was easily accessible to me a little bit earlier, but yeah, it's still not my favorite. I would rather have others, and I'm not going to tell you what they are because you need to watch my 2021 video. And then I talked about the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. I still like that one. It's just not the right shade for me, and I've not repurchased the correct shade because I have others. So I still have it. I just don't use it. I talked about Makeup Revolution's brow gel. That's an amazing brow gel. I really like that one. That'll almost give you like tattooed brows. It's that good. That's one of the best. One of the best. I talked about the Colourpop cream gel liners. Those are still really good. I use them quite a bit. I found other pencils that I actually like better for my waterline that stay a little bit better. But yeah, I found other ones that I like just a little bit better than those. I still like the white one from Colourpop pretty well. It stays in there really good. I find the ones from Colourpop are decent, but they have a tendency to want to wear off quicker, for me personally. So I found others I like a little bit better. And I talked about the Believe Beauty eyeliners. Not liquid, just regular eyeliners, and they're still really good. Really, really good. I don't know if I have any right now. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I do, actually. I don't think I have any, but they're really good. They truly are. I feel like I might have gave my mom one of them or two of them. I can't remember. I feel like I may have. That may be where my liners went. I think. And then I talked about my Milk liner. I love that liner. It came in a BoxyCharm. I didn't repurchase it, but it was really good. Really good. Victoria Beckham's really taken over. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. Really taken over. So that's why I've not repurchased. But it's, yeah, that was good. That was a good one. This is making me think of things I need to repurchase too. I talked about Victoria Beckham. I knew she'd be there. Yeah, that one is, I love that one. Love that one. I was gonna repurchase one the other day because they were having a sale, and that's a very expensive brand. And I was gonna repurchase one, but they were sold out of the cocoa shade, so I decided just to wait. Then I talked about my Colourpop liquid liner in the shade Grande. I actually have that on my eyes today. I decided to wear it because I had not reached for that in forever. And I don't know why. I don't have a really good reason. I love that still. It's still really good, and I still totally agree with my 2020 self. But yeah, I don't know why I haven't reached for it as much anymore. But it's really good. And I talked about the Too Faced Better Than Sex liner. That one I still have, and it's really, really good. I prefer a felt tip liner. It's not my all-time favorite. It's still good though. Still really good. And then the Better Than Sex mascara is what I talked about next. That used to be like, I loved it. But I'm not using it in a long time. I still have one. I just don't use it all that often. It's good. I just found others I like better. And then I talked about the Lily Lashes Triple X. I think it's Triple X mascara. It's getting late. I'm getting delusional. But yes, I still love that one. It's still really good. I need to repurchase it. But that was a really, really good one. Like, it gave you volume and length. That's underrated. Like, more people need to talk about that. That's a really good one. Then I have the L'Oreal Air Volume. I have no idea where that's at. Couldn't tell you. I don't know what happened to it. I've not used that in a long time. I don't know. I don't think it's in my collection. I really don't. I don't know where it is. I don't know what happened to it. I don't feel the same. Then I spoke about the Urban Decay Lash Freak. That one's okay. It really is. It really, like, it'll give you volume, but it kind of chunks up your lashes a bit. And that's my issue with it. I don't like chunky lashes. So, I don't reach for it as often. I still have that little tube and it needs to be thrown away because it's about a year old. Shh, don't tell anybody. But yes, it's not my favorite. Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir. Love it. Can't get it anymore. I love it though. It's really good. I'm sad. I'm super sad. You can't get it. Then I talked about the Hourglass Caution Mascara. That's a good one. I only had like a little sample of it, but it's a good mascara. I'm not going to repurchase. Hourglass is totally overpriced. Totally overpriced. Yeah, just completely. I can't believe I didn't mention Roller Lash. Like, everybody who knows me knows how much I love Roller Lash, right? At least I thought. Then I talked about the KKW liners. Can't get KKW right now. They're rebranding or something. I don't know. She's changing her name and that's why. I don't know. But I don't use those as often. I really don't. They're not bad. They're just not my first choice. Then I talked about the e.l.f. Retro Paradise liners. Those are still really good. I have quite a few of those actually in my collection. I still like those. Those are really good. Then I talked about the Colourpop lip liners, and I still love those. And I call that my favorite. That was my favorite of 2020. And they're very good. They're very good. You'll have to watch 2021 to see if that's changed at all. I don't know. Maybe. Then I talked about Lunar Beauty's lip products. Their lip glosses are absolutely to die for. I actually have one right here. We'll talk about that one. This is a new one I just got. It's Crystal Kiss. It's just a clear one. Oh, yeah, let's put some on. That's so good. That's so good. I love their lip glosses. It smells so good. I just want to like eat it. It smells so good, and it'll make sure the lips look so juicy. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. And their liquid lipstick is really good too. It doesn't dry down fully, so it doesn't give that drying feeling, which is really nice. That means it's not going to last as long, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind that. It doesn't give a drying feeling, which is really nice. I talked about Jeffree Star's liquid lipsticks. No, I don't agree with that anymore. And it has nothing to do with him. Has nothing to do with him. They are... Maybe it does have something to do with him. I don't really care for him. I'll just be real. I don't care for him. And the liquid lipsticks, though, are very drying. Very drying. And I thought that I'd found something so amazing. I do love some of the shades. But the formula itself, I found so much better formulas. And, yeah, no. Then I talked about the Luxe glosses from the Colourpop and Raw Beauty Christie collab. No. That was probably because it was Raw Beauty Christie that I talked about those. I hate the glosses from Colourpop. Those are disgusting. They taste awful. No. No. Then I talked about Glam Light's lip gloss, and it's really good. It's very opaque. Like, if you're looking for an opaque lip gloss where you don't see your lips, there you go. There you go. And then I talked about my MAC and Selena lipstick in the the shade Selena Vibe, I think it was. And that's like the very nudie one. I love it. It's like a cream lipstick. I think it was a cream. I think it's what it's called. I'm not 100% sure. But it was like it's not a matte. I know it's not a matte. It's a very nice lipstick. I love it. I love the shade. If you go back and watch the video, I'm wearing it in the video. For 2020 favorites. So yeah, I talked about the Too Faced Melted Mattes. I'd gotten like a set for the holidays, and I still like those. Those are really nice. Those, they dry down really good and they stay on for a long time, but they're not super drying on the lips. I like those. And then I talked about my Laura Lee Los Angeles liquid lips. Love those. They are so good. She has one of the best liquid lip formulas of anybody. I really do love it. I truly do. It stays on really good. Her shade Nakey Nakey, I put on a lot of different lipsticks, liquid lips, to kind of give dimension, pale it out a little bit, and I really like it. I think I made it through the video. I got a little tired of running back and forth, so sorry I gave up on that. I will link my 2020 video down below if you want to watch it, if you want to see the products. I do show those in that video, so you can go watch that and see those, and I do apologize. I'm just running out of steam. I woke up early this morning. I worked today, and I'm not feeling the best. Just feeling yucky today, and then I'm just getting tired. I'm getting very tired. So sorry to complain, but yeah, that's why I didn't get the rest of the products. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed looking back. I agree with myself on some things, on some I do not agree. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it was a little bit different, a little bit fun to kind of look back and critique myself, and just to see what I liked back then. And maybe 2021 I'll have some repeats, maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see, because I've had a lot of makeup this year. A whole lot of makeup. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are having a wonderful day, that you're staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.